Boys Club.
Is it called Boys Club because my apartment looks like a boy lives in it?
I wouldn't say a boy lives in it. I would say a boy is kidnapped somewhere in here.
Boys Club.
We're everything. We're true crime. We're World Star Hip Hop.
We're World Star Hip Hop. We're Netflix reviews.
Stories of the day.
Boys Club.
Listen.
Yeah, do it. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. I think. No, we're not. And on Google Play. Nobody gives a shit.
Boys Club.
Boys Club podcast. Now with 90% more sound clips of black people.
Boys Club.
Touch me, and I'll sue.
Here at Intoxicated Reviews, we intellectually dissect the art of cinema, scene by scene. Here's some clips.
All he is. It's just a fucking big wooden doll full of cum, chasing kids around.
You look up guys who poop in a bag. Because I think that's where you'll find him. Because he is hurt.
It's probably just in your search history anyway, isn't it?
This movie fucking blows.
So don't forget to subscribe to Intoxicated Reviews on all places you find podcasts. Except Spotify. We're working on it.
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
Oh, hey, Internet. And welcome back to another episode of the Intoxicated podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and Intoxicated is a podcast where I usually have my friends on, we have some drinks, and we talk about life. Oh my gosh, do I ever have a doozy of an episode for you guys this week. This was so much friggin' fun. So my friend Liam came on the podcast, and we really got into talking about being single. I gotta say, I have a lot of friends on who are in relationships, and I love hearing their stories, and it's always really lovely. But holy shit, was it ever good to have a friend on who I can just bitch about being single with? And that's exactly what this was. In this episode, Liam and I talk about our struggles with dating and being single, our insecurities when it comes to that. Both of us are very similar in that we are TMI overshares. We are open books. We are very loud, out there people. And that can be a challenge when it comes to dating. And also, we've both been single for a long time. Liam has been single for about 4 years. And me, I'm going on 6, people. December 19th, it'll be 6 fucking years. But what I will say is, when someone's been single for a long time, you really do truly learn a lot. And I don't even mean that to be cheesy. What I do know is that a lot of self-reflection happens during that time, and you really get to know yourself, like almost to a fault in a way, because then you have to figure out, well, how can another person fit into this life that I've built for myself? So what I loved about this episode is that we had so much fucking fun just shooting the shit about being single, like laughing at ourselves and making fun of ourselves, talking about various aspects of dating. I mean, I don't think there's a subject we didn't cover in the dating arena. It just felt really good to talk to somebody who's going through similar struggles and be brutally honest about it. It was fucking amazing. I really do think this episode was a breath of fresh air for me. It felt fucking good. I'm not gonna lie, being single is something that I think about a lot, and I think that's because deep down, underneath all this fucking darkness, I do really want a relationship. It's been a goddamn long time, okay? So I think I deserve to want that. So that's why I really wanted to have a very frank conversation about being single, because I do feel like there's this thing nowadays where women feel like they can't want it. In other words, they might feel like they're being desperate by wanting it, but I don't think that's the case at all. I think everyone deserves to be happy. Life just has a fucking way of making it hard for some people. Really, that's what it is. But we go deep into our issues and really don't hold back. So thank you so much, Liam, for coming on. Such a fun episode. It does get deep at times, especially near the end. It's funny. There's always this moment in Intoxicated sometimes where it'll be towards the end of an episode, and I guess we'll pause for a second and go, oh shit, it's getting deep now. And that's kind of what happened towards the end of the episode. So I highly encourage you to try to listen to this full episode because we go to places. And we also recorded a bonus episode for Patreon. So that'll be out as well early next week sometime. And that one's even more drunk and more deep. So there you go. I got 3 hours of Liam, and I think you guys are going to love all of it. As per usual, do make sure that you are subscribed to Intoxicated wherever you find podcasts. You can also leave a rating or review on iTunes. Follow us on social media. That is Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast, and on Twitter at @in_toxicated. We got a Gmail account. You can email us at intoxicatedpodcast@gmail.com with any feedback, comments, or questions. I have been doing a lot of polls on my personal Instagram, trying to get some feedback from y'all, because, you know, it's the end of the year and I'm approaching 2 years in February. So I like to try to get a vibe of what you guys think is working for the show and what you think isn't. Lucky for me, a lot of my insecurities about it were reassured with those polls. So thanks to everybody who answered those questions on my personal Instagram. But if you are a listener of the show and you're not a friend of mine, let me know. Comment on social media or send me an email and let me know what you think of the show. What episodes do you like? What guests do you like? If you want to bring someone back, let me know who you'd like to see back on the show. Let me know any topics you think would be interesting for me to cover, because there's a lot of them. And I definitely want to make things that you guys want to hear. The other thing too is, do make sure that you tell your friends about the podcast, because that's the best way to get the word out, is to tell a friend. And like I mentioned before, we have a Patreon page, and that is patreon.com/intoxicated. Another amazing way to support the show. But I'm going to shut up now because this is an epic episode. It's a longer one. You guys are going to love it. So here's my episode with the very awesome and fabulous Liam. Okay, I can totally hear both of us.
I'm so glad that I can't hear it because I hate the sound of my own voice.
Yeah. Perfect person for a podcast.
Yeah. I'm going to like listen to this later and just like slip my wrists in the bathtub.
You know, some people don't. Some people choose, like, they'll come on, they're like, I'm happy to come on and do this and it's fun, but I'm not going to listen to it.
Oh no, I'll I'll listen to it.
Hell yeah, you will.
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. I don't know why I'm whispering. To the Intoxicated Podcast with my friend Leah.
Hi.
Welcome to my life. Welcome to my living room.
Thank you. It is beautiful.
It is mine.
It is a cry for help.
First thing. That's amazing. It is such a cry for help.
Yeah.
I have my green screen on my wall because I'm too lazy to take it down and put it back up. And that's just how I roll. But in the future, I'll have a 2-bedroom. I'm going to have a podcast room.
Ooh. So because we're going to be talking about dating today, when I do date unsuccessfully, I do talk about when guys have something called sad boy house, and it's one of the things of sad boy house is like you have like a curtain,
yes,
which is just actually a blanket held up by like 2 thumbtacks, or it's towels, which is like
100% what I have going on here.
It is like 20% that, and the rest is actual walls.
Listen, though, they can't say it's for acoustics, and I can.
Yes, it's just to eliminate reverb.
Reverb, yeah, exactly.
That is a word I know.
I think that means echo. Yeah, echo. Yeah, you're right. It is to eliminate that.
Yeah.
You're totally correct.
I know things.
Because I've recorded in, okay, this sounds weird. I've recorded in nicer apartments, and I'm like, fuck, I'm so jealous of your nice-ass apartment. But recording in here is terrible because you have too much space. This place is too big and the ceilings are too high.
It's too echoey. Like, I go, hello, and it just comes back with like, no, girl.
Yeah, it's sad. So sometimes I do it for fun just because I like to place myself in apartments that are nicer than mine and just think, maybe one day.
I will say, like, I know I threw some shade, but like your place is nice.
Thank you. It's decent. I
hate houses when you go in and it looks like no one lives there.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like,
not lived in at all.
And that was my mother growing up. Like anytime we had someone come over, it was like a frantic thing to like we don't like no one needs to. Oh, you have a coloring book on the table. You don't do that anymore. Like, get rid of it.
Get rid of any signs of life.
Yeah, and it's like, girl, like, it's your friend Heather who's gonna get drunk at the dinner table anyway.
I know.
Like,
that's just it. Every time, like I'm like the hoster. I host a lot because I'm the extrovert of my friends.
Me too.
So like I'm the one who has to invite people over most times. And sometimes I'm just like, guys, listen, I'll have you over, but it ain't gonna be clean.
Oh,
and you have to deal with that.
You gotta start doing what I do, because we do a lot of dinners at my house. And luckily I have a pretty solid group of friends who have been there long enough that when they show up, I'll be like, okay, so I'm gonna start doing dishes. If you could wash this as well. And if you're gonna go out for a cigarette, here's the green bin stuff.
Yeah, it's like a co-op.
Yeah.
Everyone chips in.
Well, and I give people the stuff that I can't do, because like I ugly cry if I have to cut onions.
Oh, I hate that shit.
And so I will give those to someone who I want to watch cry.
Yeah.
And I do not like cutting meat. That is like my
I don't
last...
like cutting anything.
I will like dice a tomato or a pepper or something, but the instant like I have to touch something gooey and like sticky that I obviously have to wash my hands afterwards, unless I want like a tapeworm.
Yeah, totally.
Then it's like, could you do this for me?
I know. I'm the same. That's why I don't cook. I never cook.
If
should do it
if
more.
other people come over, it's like, ooh, here are my handmade tortillas with this and this. And if I'm at home, I'm like, cool, what's up, Domino?
What's up, KD? What's up, KD?
Oh, so I just recently found there's this gnocchi you can buy at the store. Like,
what's that?
Gnocchi, like the potato pasta puff things.
Oh, yes, okay.
And you can buy...
When you said that, I understood exactly what...
Yeah. And there's these ones you can buy, and they have cheese inside of them.
Oh, bitch.
And you literally just like put them in a pan with some butter, and it's like potato mozzarella sticks.
Yes, I want that.
It is so disgusting to eat, but obviously I only eat them alone with the lights off.
Yep, that's when you do it.
Yeah.
Well, not to bury the lead, but yeah, we are here with Liam.
Hi.
We are drinking red wine
out of a box,
which I have a lot of friends who are wine drinkers, and they swear by the boxed wine. They say it's the only way to do it. It's the most economical, best way to drink wine.
It's like going to Costco.
Yeah. I love it. Do you have a favorite? Like, is this your favorite?
This is like the fancy version of my favorite. So there's two, and there's one, and it literally just says red on it.
That's
it does not specify grape.
It just says red.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. It's just me. And that one is like $4 cheaper than this one.
You splurged.
I know.
It's a Cabernet Merlot.
Yeah.
Peller Estates. Peller family.
Peller family.
Oh, I read that.
They left the estate, and now they're just
I love it. It's actually really good.
The Peller family fell on hard times. They left the estate, and now they're
just in a vineyard.
It's like the wine version of Schitt's Creek.
Oh, that's great. But welcome to the show. And we got a cheers.
Oh,
it's
yes.
good. It's bad luck if we don't.
L'chaim.
And I got a drink. I heard it's bad luck not to drink after a cheers. Yeah.
I've also heard you need to like lock eyes when you do it, which makes me feel like very...
That's very intimate.
Yeah.
That is very intimate. But also, friendship origin story between you and I. Do you remember the first time we've met?
Yes. So the first time we met was at Trivia at Rock Bottom.
That makes sense.
And you were wearing this very strappy top. And at that time, Demi Lovato's Cool for the Summer just came out. And I was like... And you had your hair was done. You looked so good. And the first thing I said to you was like, you look like Demi Lovato.
And I actually died 1,000 deaths because I love Demi Lovato so fucking much.
She's amazing.
I do love her. She got some issues, but she's amazing.
Oh, but no, like, did you watch the YouTube documentary thing? That was amazing.
Yeah, unreal.
Because she was something we're going to talk about is she is a sharer.
Yeah.
And she was like, so yeah, I have an eating disorder and I have addiction issues. And I'm like you. Yeah.
She's very honest about what she's been through.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal.
But no, you were wearing this top and you looked...
Thank you.
50 Shades of all right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like that was at the height of my style. I feel like the older I get, the less I care. I'm wearing jeans now.
I'm wearing like a Hogwarts varsity shirt.
I love it. But that's how we met, and then we just kind of knew each other through mutual friends, I guess.
Yeah, and like we had sort of ran in the same circles for a while, and we would just see each other at parties, and I was like, I love you because you are, I think we're very much the same person.
I think we are. Yeah.
So it was like
Open books.
Yeah, and it was like, I mean, if I see you at a party, I know that I have someone that I can go up to the bar and get like a drink with, and I have someone that I could always talk to no matter like how weirdly intimate the thing is.
You can pull me
like,
in a bedroom and share some gossip.
be like, oh my God, like I just got a UTI and it's super weird.
Yep. 100%.
Which I have had a UTI.
Recently?
Well, not recently, but like
Those things
boys
suck.
don't get UTIs.
Yeah, it's kind of rare.
And it was sort of funny. So I was like, it starts to hurt when I pee. And I was like, shit. Like,
fuck.
But like,
Could be one of two things.
it could be one of two things. And listen, I do not have an overly active sex life. So I went to the doctor and I was like, so it hurts when I pee. And he's like, when was the last time you had sex? I was like, I don't think it's an STD. And he's like, no, well, when was the last time you had sex? I was like, I don't know, like 8 months ago. And he goes, that long.
Oh, throwing shade.
I was like, listen, bitch.
That's not that bad. People
Yeah.
have gone much longer. You know what I hate? And on the subject of dry spells, when you're going through a dry spell, and everyone goes through them, and everyone has a different like spectrum of sexual experience. You know, some people are used to fucking every day. So to them, 3 weeks is a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like whenever people, when you're going through a dry spell, it's tricky sometimes when you want to complain because you're like, oh, fuck, it's been 4 months. And then like your friend beside you would be like, it's been 4 years for me. How dare you?
It's like the end of Titanic. It's been.
So it's such a tricky thing.
Yeah. Well, I have a friend, and he is so lovely, but like quite obviously has like a much larger sexual appetite than I do. Not to say that I don't like sex. I like sex.
Yeah.
But we were talking and he's like, I think when you're in a relationship, you should have sex at least 15 times a month. And I was like, that seems like a lot.
That does seem like a lot. So that would be like how many times a week?
That is every
like,
other day.
That's like 5. Well, wait. Math.
Well, no, there's 15 times a month. There's 30-ish days in a year.
Right.
That is every other day for sex.
That's insane.
And that just seems like a lot.
That's at least 3 times a week. At least.
Yeah. And I don't know, like.
Actually, I would be okay with that. But there's with straight people, there's periods you have to keep in mind too. But
with gay period too, there's like Thai food you got to keep in mind. Like, we had Mexican last night. You sure you won't have sex tonight?
It's Thai night. You mark it on the calendar. Like, this is off limits.
But also, like, I will say, full disclosure,
yes.
I do have like depression.
Yay!
And
me too!
yay! And I've noticed since I've managed to sort of get it under control that I have a very parabolic sex drive. So I want sex and I want you and I'm gonna crack you in half like a cheap pair of chopsticks.
Right.
Or like, let's just cuddle.
Yeah. It's like very up and down.
Yeah.
Very, like two extremes.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
and it's strange because like I like sex and I want intimacy and all those things, but then like sometimes like when like, oh, that seems like a lot of work right now.
Fuck, I know. How long have you been a single guy?
For almost 5 years.
Okay.
Now. And like when I say that, there's been like stints of like 1 or 2 month long relationships that I don't really count.
You don't really count. They're not that serious.
They're just like extended dating.
Right.
So yeah, about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. I'm going on 6.
Yeah, and it's like, dating is garbage.
It's absolute shit. I've just realized that. I just want to skip all this nonsense and just get to like, can we just hang out and be together?
Oh, so no, you are like me. Because like, I think I am a bad date, but I'm a great boyfriend.
Yes! Yes, that's actually a great point.
Because like, I don't understand the like minutia and the social cues and the like,
oh my god,
will they, won't they of dating. But like, once we get into the like regular, like, hey, what's up tonight? Are we doing this? Like,
making plans.
I'm your man.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. Navigating this world of apps and like just trying to make connections with people over text. It's fucking hard.
Oh my god. And I will say, and I think it might be like a weird like generation gap where like my texts are full sentences.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're especially like talking to people who are either probably like 10 years older or like 10 years younger,
Yeah.
they just don't quite communicate the same way.
Couple word answers.
And like I'll be like, oh, so like I had the worst day, and then this happened, and then this happened. They're like, okay.
Yeah. I was like, and I don't necessarily think that the texting phase should go on that long before you move to a date. It's just like, it's tough to make that decision. Because there's some people who will go on dates right away, no matter what, just a couple sentences exchanged back and forth, and then bam, there's a date arranged. And that's not me. Like, I need a little more than that.
I want to know that you're not going to knife me and take my kidney. I need both of these. I'm a drinker.
And I know that tone is tough to establish over text. Mm-hmm. What I've learned recently.
That's why the good Lord invented emojis.
That's right. This is a great way to show tone. What I've learned recently is that I've been thinking a lot lately about flirting styles and like how people like to flirt. And what I've realized is I don't respond good to overly complimentary men.
Oh my God. We are so the same person. That's alarming.
So like
I'm having a hallelujah.
So there's a lot of guys who will write things like, well, okay, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but we haven't met yet, so I'm going to talk about it.
Hey, Jared. I don't know. I just feel like that's a white boy, like a straight white guy name is like Jared.
His name does begin with J.
Ooh. John, Jack, James.
No, none of those.
Oh. Jeremiah, Jedediah. I'm just going through like the 18 kids and counting family now.
And that's not to say, it's not to say that I like to be picked on. I don't really respond well to guys who just assume, like, they're just like, you're so beautiful and you seem so great. And then like, they'll say things like, oh, what did you do today? And I'm like, well, I worked because I have a job. And I'll be like, oh, that's a shame. We could have been eating pizza together. And it's just kind of like, I don't respond good to this. Like, if you want to hang out, let's make a plan, but don't assume that my life is going to revolve around you. I haven't met you yet, man. Well, it's a really weird, bizarre thing. And then I'll send it to friends, and friends will be like, dude, he's just being nice. Fucking relax.
I think, and this probably comes to probably our own insecurities and things, but like, I find if anyone's someone like overly complimentary, I think they're lying.
Yes.
I immediately think they're lying.
Yeah.
Which is obviously like something to do with my own self-worth, but if someone's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, I'm like, I am like mom friendly at best. Like,
this poor Tinder guy called me, like, we added each other to Facebook.
Yeah.
And the first thing he wrote me on Messenger was, yeah, you're cute. This is great. And I wrote, cute? Question mark.
The like 3-legged cheetah at the San Diego Zoo is cute.
Like, and then I was just like, Sarah, he's complimenting you. Like, just because you didn't get the compliment you wanted doesn't mean you shouldn't take the fucking compliment, you bitch. Like, what do you do? And then it just has been making me realize, like, holy fuck. I've been single for 6 years, but I got some shit to figure out because I'm not responding good to all this.
Yeah, and I am not a good flirter.
Me neither.
Because I am what we call upfront. So there have been times where like some guys come up, they're like, oh, hi, my name is, I was going to pick a gay ass. And I'm like,
that's the guys.
And I'm like, hi, my name's Liam and I have a lot to offer.
You know what? I respect that.
Yeah.
And I've thought recently, you know, I'm kind of coming out of this weird funk and I'm trying to get my comeback into the world. And I've thought
Kim Kardashian had come on her back.
She did make a good comeback. Comeback. And I've thought about doing that. Being just very like I had a waiter serve me recently and I just thought about going, hey, you're fucking hot. Like I had the thought in my mind and I didn't quite do it, but the thought was there to do it.
So speaking from experience, it does not go nearly as well you think it will. Because there have been times like I have like looked at men and I've just been like, and they're like, hey, and I'm like, you're a tall drink of water, aren't you? They're just like, who is your friend and why is he is he on a day pass?
Oh my gosh, I feel your pain.
But also I will say it's one of my better qualities too, because I am the worst liar in the world. I have the worst poker face.
Same.
So like if we were in a long-term relationship and you're like, where were you last night? I'd be like, nowhere. Why are you asking?
Yeah, no, it's being open, I think, is personally a great thing. I'm drawn to people who are like that. It's
That's why we get along so well.
That's why we get along. I just think that sometimes guys are intimidated by it.
Well, I did have a friend tell me, because basically now I'm like, so tomorrow, as we discussed, I'm like, I have like assembled this like Ocean's 11 team
To get you laid?
to get me laid because it's been far too long. So I have got like straight wingmen. I have
Oh my God.
gay wingmen. I am like, you're like cute and people like you and you know everyone. So you're with us.
Oh my
and
God.
you are a good, you pump me up. So you're on the team too.
You've assembled a team.
This took me like 2 weeks to do.
Oh my God. Where are you going?
We're going to go to Men's Bar. It's the only gay bar in Halifax, really. Reflections.
Thank
is
you. Fuck the new Reflections.
It's not a gay bar.
No.
Like, first of all,
It's university kids.
everyone there is so young.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you ever want to feel old, go to Reflections.
We went there last New Year's Eve and we really tried. I feel like I tried the hardest. I was like, we're gonna go dancing. We lasted 10 minutes.
And so, and I do go to Men's Bar during Drag Race season.
Nice.
They
I need
do
to watch that.
drag.
I haven't watched it yet. I know it's on Netflix, so I might start watching it.
You need to, because first of all, it is the best show.
I've heard this from like at least 10 people.
It is like Project Runway meets America's Next Top Model meets Flavor of Love.
That's a good description.
Yeah.
Sold.
And like the best part is like, so All Stars 4 is the latest season coming, and you can draft a fantasy league.
Oh my God.
So like people, I'm like, yeah, like they're like, hey, like some of the guys at work, they're like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I just drafted like my Drag Race fantasy league, and they're like,
a what?
a what? And like most people pick it up because it's so mainstream now that they get it. But there was this one kid, bless his heart, he was from Puerto Rico, so he was like, Drag Race, I love Drag Race. I was like, yeah, like me too. Like, who's your favorite? And he was sputted off some name. I'm like, oh, what season is that one from? And he's like, no, he's current. And I was like, we're in the off season. Like, what do you mean it's current? And he's like, yeah, and this is the car he drives. I
knew that's where it was going.
I was like, oh, honey, no, I'm talking about
Honey, no.
Drag Race, like RuPaul. And he's like, who's RuPaul? And I was like, wait 1 second. How old are you? I'm 20. Why?
Oh my gosh. Fuck.
Bless his heart. He's so cute, but
I need to watch it. Maybe I'll watch it and I'll message you about it. Yeah. So you're going to Men's Bar. What's the plan?
The plan is to find someone who looks like they own land. And then tell him a few weeks later that I am pregnant.
Are you looking for... Okay, I have a lot of questions. So you haven't been laid in a while, so you're obviously one to get some.
Yes.
Are you looking specifically just for sex, or would you like it to be more than that?
If
Be
it's
honest.
more than that, that's like the end goal.
Yeah.
You know when people message you on dating apps or like Tinder or whatever, and they're like, what brings you on here? My always response is,
Hate that.
a reason to delete this.
Yes, I love that.
And they're like, well, you can delete it now. I was like, girl, like, read between the lines, you fucking moron. But yeah, so the end goal is obviously like something serious.
Yeah.
But like, you know what? I'm open to new experiences as long as it's got cheese involved.
I know what you mean. You're going into it kind of in a way, No expectations in a weird way.
No expectations, but like
With
secretly holding a candle in the back saying, please date me. I'm a
Just
good person.
A glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
Hope can be dangerous.
Well, one thing that is so prevalent in like, you know, we'll probably go through my phone later.
I would love to.
In the gay world is open relationships.
Yeah.
And open marriages, anything like that. So you look at someone on your Scruff or your Tinder or your Grindr and you're like, you're cute. And then you look and you're like, okay, you're tall, you're handsome, you read the description.
Got a
and you're like,
husband.
yeah, and you're like, cool, you like video games and you like cats, so like tick, tick, tick. Oh, you're in an open relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't play second fiddle particularly well.
Me neither.
I'm a first chair girl.
Yes. Yes. I don't think I could do it.
I would like to think that at some point in my life, I will not be as much of an insecure mess as I am right now, that like that's something I'm capable of doing. But like, let's be real. There's a lot of things that I hope I could be doing in a while that I'm not going to be doing.
Fuck. It's this age, I think, too. So you're 29.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 31. This is a pivotal age.
Yeah. So a very good friend of mine. So my roommate is also 31 and she's also single. And our very good friend, her mother was like, listen, like, I'm really worried about Liam and Caitlin because if you're not married by 30, it means that there's something wrong with you.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Pam. But they're from the valley where it's like, they live like right outside of like, what's the military base there? Greenwood? Green tea?
Green tea.
Green tea.
I don't even know. I think Greenwood would make sense.
Yeah, but like no one has a louder biological clock than men in the military.
So true.
Because they're like, I have my money, I have my house, I want my wife, I want my babies.
Kids, lots of kids. Gotta spread that seed.
Ugh.
Gotta spread it.
No.
Do you ever want to have kids?
No, God, no.
I love it.
And like, I am very upfront with that. Like, I have zero. I say I have zero paternal instinct. I love cats, but
I have a kitty cat. She might come out later.
I do not want children.
Yeah.
Because do you know what I really like?
Freedom.
Doing whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Whenever I fucking feel.
Isn't it fucking great?
Yeah.
I think about it. So like, I've had like ovary uterus problems recently, and as an anxious person, I always go to worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, I get a hysterectomy or whatever, and I'm like, okay, would that upset me? And I'm leaning towards it wouldn't. It's
interesting because a friend of mine went to his doctor and he said, like, listen, like, I don't want to have kids. And he got a vasectomy.
Nice.
Really, like, he mentioned it a few times and then they got it. And then another friend of mine, a female friend of mine, was like, hey, I don't want kids. I want a hysterectomy.
Oh, it's much harder.
Oh, and they're like, are you sure?
Yeah.
You might regret this later.
Yeah.
Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's also, I've noticed in our generation, because, the internet's saying that we're ruining so many things. One of the other things we're ruining is children, because we're not having any.
Yeah.
Or we're not, we're having like one.
Right.
Because, like, first of all, they're expensive.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, we're all fucking broke.
Yeah.
I can't afford kids. If I got knocked up today, I couldn't keep that shit. You kidding me?
My God.
Fuck. Like, I can barely spoil my own cat. A baby? Like an actual human?
Oh my God.
Whole other level.
And it's, we live in a province where the population is like old as shit.
Very old, yeah.
And, once they die off and it's just us and, it'll be a little easier.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, like a friend of mine was like, I don't want kids. And so many people are like, what do you mean you don't want kids? Like, you're going to regret this. Like, you. Fuck. But then the inverse is they're like, when people ask her, they say, well, when are you going to have kids? She leans over and looks at her boyfriend. She goes, hey, my parents want to know when you're going to have unprotected sex with me.
Oh, my God.
That shuts them up. So, all of you ladies listening.
Oh my gosh. It's such a it weighs on my mind. And I think the reason it weighs on my mind is that all my friends are having them.
This is the thing, is we're both single and, we're 3 years apart, 2 years apart.
Yeah.
How's math work? 1 second. Two.
Yeah, 2 years.
And everyone's getting married and having kids. But I will say that people who are doing that are the ones who very much so get lost in that identity as well.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are like, hi, my name's Cassandra. I am a loving wife to Curtis and a mom to 2 beautiful boys.
Yeah.
She could also be like a super lawyer, but like that's what she leads with.
It's true.
And it's not saying that being a wife and a mother is not a bad thing.
Right.
But
it shouldn't be all that you are.
I would never want to lose that, like, even now, like when people immediately lead the question, well, I'm gay. It's like, no, girl, we knew. When people say they're like, who are you? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm a super nerd. Like, I spent all of Saturday playing World of Warcraft while like pounding grape in the living room, watching like Grey's Anatomy.
Nice.
So I don't know what you want.
Yeah. Frig. You need more wine.
I do need more wine.
Should we bring the box just here?
I will.
We should just put it on this table. Peller family, sponsor me.
This isn't a sponsored podcast yet.
It's like until someone officially sponsors me, I'm just gonna keep plugging every single thing that I drink on this show.
Domino's hit me up.
Why did I had a question while we were talking about kids. It was in my mind and then it left my mind. Oh yeah, coming out. What was your coming out? What age did you realize it, or did you always know?
So I a part of me sort of always knew. I think it was not until really like anyone has those sexual feelings that you quite understand. Like I remember being quite younger and seeing like my older brother's like friends, and I was like, oh, I want them to be my friends. And I was like, I recognize now like what I wanted from them.
Wanted more than friendship.
Yeah, but it was probably 11 or 12 I figured it out.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't until like 14 that I was like, oh yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough to have 2 very amazing parents. And so when like I was 15 and we were driving to pick my older brother up from work, and I was like, Mom, I have something to tell you. And she's like, okay, like what is it? I'm like, I'm gay. And she's like, oh, we know. We were just waiting for you to figure it out. And I was like,
anticlimactic.
oh, okay. And she's like, is that it? Like, do you got a boyfriend or something? I was like, no. And she's like, all right, cool. So like, anyways,
good on ya.
Like, yeah, good on ya.
Wow.
But like I have a gay uncle, so my mom's known, and like I'm not exactly a straight presenting young man. So with my legs crossed, drinking a glass of wine.
But I wouldn't say that you're like overly kind of in the middle.
I have gay voice, and I definitely don't try to hide it.
Mm-hmm. Love that though. Love that.
So it's just very, very obvious. Like even like my managers at work, one of them was like, so like when are the, I don't know how to word this, but I feel like you will know when the Pride festivities are.
Oh my God.
We've never met. She's only like talked to me on the phone, and I'm like,
God love her.
And I was like, girl, yeah, I know what they are. It's July. But, you know, I also recognize that I say this from a place of privilege. It's never been an issue. Even my grandmother, who is very, very religious, like she still calls me. She goes, so have you found yourself a nice young man yet?
Aww.
And I'm like, no. She's like, oh, well, guess I'll die without seeing you get married.
That's like sweet, but also like, back off, Grandma.
It's like grandmother guilt. Straight people get it too.
Oh yeah, big time. I think
But-
I don't get it as much. I feel people have given up on me.
I have a younger brother who's engaged, so like that's the new distraction now.
Oh, a younger brother who's how much younger?
He's only 2 years younger.
Okay.
We're all 2 years apart.
I mean, that's like the perfect age gap.
But like we also, most of us are in the same like one window, and I was like, Mom, you were busy in September.
Oh shit! Like your birthdays are around the same time?
Yeah,
kind of
like
thing?
May 1st, May 5th, May 9th.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Mom, if you are listening to this, I am so sorry.
Fall fucking
Yeah, it's like, you know.
cuffing season.
Oh, I never thought of this.
Cuffing season.
I
is
am
the thing.
mortified but amazed at the same time.
Do you believe in cuffing season? Like from your perspective?
I do.
Yeah, me too.
I think it is a real thing. I think, but also, so I like winter. Like I'm one of those.
That's the opposite of a bell ring there.
Yeah. So I'm one of those weird people that actually like winter, but I like people talk about summer like it is the best shit that has ever happened.
I mean, that's incorrect.
And they're like, yeah, like summer. And then the instant the like days start getting shorter and they have to put sleeves on, they're like, oh no, what am I going to do? I can't go to patios anymore and drink. Where's a lady?
Not drink your craft beer that you can get all year round anyway.
Right. No more Radlers? What's going on? I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's definitely, summer is definitely like the most popular of the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite season is fall. Like September,
Fall is
October.
a very good season.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I don't mind spring, but it's very like my birthday month is March,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the worst fucking February and March, worst months.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because winter is dying and it's trying to die a death, but it's just dying a slow, drastic death, and it
it's
won't
just
fucking
like-
die.
Everything is gray and wet for some reason, and there's no life outside.
Yeah, there's no pretty
Also,
snow.
the sun still goes down at 7.
Yeah, it's like oddly muggy sometimes.
Yeah.
because like spring is trying to come through, but then like yeah,
Those nights you crawl into your bed and you're like, my sheets feel wet.
yep. Fucking hate March.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm born in
So
March.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's your question?
I want your worst date story.
Okay, so here's the thing with me. Like, I haven't gone on a lot of dates. And like, I'm not coming from a self-deprecating place when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a legitimate thing. Okay. Well, I yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I will talk about my worst date. I've decided to say fuck it to this one because it's
Are we not supposed to swear?
Oh, no. This is more, I know this individual might listen because he might be a psycho who also sends me messages calling me ugly and that I look like a horse. Yeah. So
If you got beef with Sarah, you got beef with me, girl.
this would have been like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, it was my first ever Tinder date.
Okay.
So first ever time like meeting up with somebody that I just like I'd never met before because how I have had 2 boyfriends and how I got those boyfriends were like mutual friends, whatever, met through friends of friends,
fell
and
into it.
then we were like boyfriend girlfriend. It was so
Yeah.
easy, and it's not like that anymore. You have to do this whole fucking dating thing, and it's ridiculous. But we went to Fickle Frog. And it was just like, honestly, it's not really a great story. It was just really bad chemistry and like conversation was really boring and there just wasn't a good, like when I have to feel like I'm working to get stuff out of you, it's never going to work. But then this is what made it the worst. It would have just been like a meh date. I would have just walked away from it fine. But he messaged me. We parted ways. Didn't kiss or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't feeling it. I feel like you can tell when I like you. Like I'm someone who, like
Again, we've
you'll
discussed
know.
how subtle we are.
We are not, subtlety is not our forte. We parted ways, and in 20 minutes he messaged me and was like, "So how did that go?"
Ooh.
And I was like,
This ain't TripAdvisor. Do you want a star rating?
right?
Like, do I give you a smiley face, a frowny face?
Yeah. So I was just like, and I think I remember giving a very generic, I'm very bad at, here's my thing. I hate being rejected, but I also suck at rejecting people. So I will usually give the generic.
Same girl.
I just don't feel that way. Like, I don't really feel anything, but like maybe we can stay friends. Like, I hate that generic fucking response, but that's what I give because I'm just genuinely a nice person, and I do feel like chemistry is everything, and there's somebody for everybody. Da, 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 da. But like in this instance, I gave him that, and a couple of weeks went by actually, and he messaged me again with a very nasty message about like, you'll never find your Prince Charming, or so, like he said something like that to me. He was very pissed. And then more recently I got what was it? Messages from what looked like a fake Facebook account, like no profile picture, just a random
like
name,
3 friends.
Yeah, and him being like, you ugly horse face.
His name was like Cornelius Swanson.
Yeah, like he was calling me like an ugly horse face, and I get the sneaking feeling that it's the same guy because he was viewing my Instagram stories that same week.
I had something very similar happen to me.
Really?
A guy on Grindr started messaging me and didn't have a picture and was just like, oh, like, you're very cute. And I was like, oh, well, like, thank you. And then was like, yeah, he's like, this is, he spouted out some sort of random number. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, that's the number of like, ejaculates someone has. And then they like, then there's like 22,800. He's like, that's the number you had, you cheating whore.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I am. You must be mistaking me for somebody else because, like, I have sex biannually.
Oh my God.
And he's like, oh, I know you like other people's men, and like,
what?
and I was like, oh my God, like,
okay, that's.
And I'm like going through like my Rolodex, like there's a big Rolodex, but like the like people I've slept with, I was like what? And they're like, yeah, and I was like, I think you might have the wrong person.
Have you ever been like the other man?
Oh. Yes, I did that professionally for a few years, but I was like, I think you might have the wrong person. He's like, I know you slept with my boyfriend in like 2014.
That's
like,
really creepy.
I was like, I didn't even like live here then. Like I was in Vegas.
So he really got the wrong person.
I don't know if he did, but like it was very much like, and at that point I just got into like Pretty Little Liars. And I was like, this is my A. Like, he knows things about me.
The internet is, and it really sucks because I'm just like, what are people doing with their lives that they're like, especially in my situation where it's like, if this was the same guy, like this was years ago, dude.
Like,
why do you care?
Get some scissors.
That I rejected you 3 years ago.
Wrap it the fuck up.
Right?
Well, and I think the anonymity of internet and dating apps gives people this almost body armor. So, like, I am what we call gay fat. Mm-hmm. I'm not particular, like, I'm like 190 pounds. Like, I'm not exactly a big girl, but I'm gay fat.
Right.
Which means that in the straight world, I am considered average. And I have had people say
very average. Like, yeah. Like you have nothing to worry about.
I'm very average. Like I wear a size 34 pant.
Yes.
But in the gay world, like I have had people say when like I message them, I'm like, oh, hey, handsome. They're like, wow, I'm not into fat guys. But it's because they have this anonymity. They can
be as jerky as they want.
They can be as jerky as they want. And so when you talk to someone in real life, like if you're at a bar or you're at a party and you say, like, hey, I think you're really cute, and they don't have that shield.
Yeah.
They flip.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, okay, I have to pee.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And I'm like, I think your friend might have like a UTI or something.
People are jerks.
People are jerks.
It's just, I listen, like, I don't like being rejected either, but I'm not going to fucking backlash at you if you're not into me.
Well, and
you know, like
you said, like you have not been on a lot of dates. I am the master of the first date. I have been on like.
Ooh, tell me what. Okay, give me first. You tell me your worst one, and then tell me like what makes a good first date.
My worst first date. My worst date.
Yeah, maybe date in general. Yeah.
it lasted about 3 minutes.
What?
We agreed to meet at a bar. And this is someone like, so you can link your Instagram to your dating apps. So this dude like went in knowing what I look like.
Yeah.
And we sat down, we ordered a drink, and then he was like, I'm really sorry. He's like, I thought that you would look different.
Ugh. Why would you ever say that to
And I was
somebody
like,
now?
oh, okay.
Yeah,
He's
how
like-
do you respond to that? Like, what?
And I'm like, well, this is the face I got. Like, I don't know what you want.
You can't just like take it off and put a different one on.
Let me put some prosthetics on, some contouring. Maybe make this nose look a little smaller.
Oh my god.
But he was like, okay. And I was like, well, you ordered a drink. And he's like, well, do you mind picking it up? And I was like, I guess.
Like
and then he
paying for
just,
it?
yeah. And then he just got up and left. So then I like pounded back 2 drinks and then left.
what the fuck?
Yeah. No, he was what we would call a see you next Tuesday.
Like, okay, any nice person in that situation would just go through with the date and at the end of it just say, I'm not feeling it. Can we
Yeah.
be friends? Any nice person would do that.
Well, so, I've been on probably in the last year, like close to Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore 51st
Really?
Dates.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
It is a lot. And I, not all of the time is it a good date, but like for the most part, I'm like, well, this person seems nice. Like, I'm willing to give it another go just to
Yeah.
see if, sort of throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah.
And you can always tell because, like, if you're texting a whole bunch before, then you meet, and then afterwards it's like one message.
Right.
And then 2 days later it's another message. And I'm like,
You
okay.
can read the room.
And I'm like, so, like, you're not into it. And they're like, oh, what do you mean? Like, oh, ooh. And, like, people get so freaked out when you call them on their shit. Because I'm like, hey, like, I enjoyed myself, but, like, I get the feeling that you didn't, which is fine. It's
Right.
like, but I'm a big girl.
Just say it.
Just say it. And they're like, oh, well, I mean, I've been busy. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because, like, for the last 2 weeks, we've been texting.
And then it's radio silence.
And then it's radio silence. Like, I'm not stupid.
Right.
But
Yeah. Ugh. And I hate it when people make you feel like you're overthinking things when really you're just saying it like it is.
But then the people who switch on to you like, oh, well, you're the crazy, or like, oh, how dare you put this on me? Obviously, I dodged a bullet because that's very indicative of how you handle confrontation.
Right.
But like, just say after the date, like, hey, this is a whole other tangent. Just say you didn't enjoy yourself.
Yeah, seriously though.
But the last few dates I've been on, they have said, like, oh, like, Liam, like, you're super funny and you're nice and you're easy to talk to. I just don't feel a connection. Like, you just listed every, like,
Every great thing about you.
every, like, positive thing you want in a person.
You gotta do a compliment sandwich. You gotta put a negative in the middle.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, I just don't feel a connection.
Fucking hate that.
Like, okay, well, like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, helicopter.
So, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it is okay? There's this stigma of disparity amongst single people that people tend to put on single people when they want to know why they're single. Like, I genuinely am curious as to, like, if someone is like, I'm not interested, I want to know why. Like, because and I think you might be the same. I think I'm great.
I do not want to know because
You don't?
I am
I
one of
do.
those people who, if you tell me why you are not interested, I will stew on that.
Yeah.
I will take what you've said, and it could be as flippant as you meant it, but that will go through the Rube Goldberg machine that is my brain and come out like
you'll just
"Everyone
think
hates you because of this. And he's the only one brave enough to tell you.
Have you ever asked anyone who's like rejected you? Have you ever asked them why?
There was one guy, we went on 2 or 3 dates and it was going really well. And then he was like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it. And I was like, can I ask why?
Yeah. Which is fair.
And he's like, I don't know how to say this. you don't seem very outdoorsy.
Oh.
And I'm like,
I guess
which is fair.
Yeah, in the slew of reasons. That's not a bad reason.
But like, what do you mean? Well, I go camping a lot. Well, you only do that half the year.
Yeah, really.
So like,
But would that be a deal? Are you not into camping at all?
I am not a camper.
Yeah, me neither. Would that be a deal breaker for, like, if you were dating someone and they were like, you need to at least try camping or do it a couple times
I would
with
be
me?
fine with it if they were willing to hold my hand through it. Like,
same.
I'm not talking like a 4-day hike through the fucking Okanagan. Like, we do an overnight here.
Yeah.
Maybe we do a weekend trip, but like, I like electricity. I appreciate all the work that has gone into plumbing,
beds,
and that really, to say that it's better to do with the other, that is throwing that in the face that people who work year round trying to make beds better for people and trying to make internet stronger,
right,
and insulation better. You know, and you're just listening, fuck you.
Yeah, we're gonna go sleep on the floor in a tent outside in the cold. I feel like you're the type, and tell me if I'm wrong, are you a giver in relationships? Like, are you someone who's very much like you will do things?
Are you asking if I'm a top?
Actually, oddly enough, I'm not. We'll get to that later.
We will.
But like, are you like, because like I'm someone who is like going back to the bad date, great boyfriend or thing. Like, I'm very much someone who will do things for that other person to make them happy, even though I might not like them.
I am the exact same girl.
Same. Yeah.
Because it's very much like, you know, like, I want to be a part of your life and I want you to be a part of my life. I want you to feel valued. I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. So, like, what can I do to make that happen? And most recently, in the, like, brief trieste I had in the dating world, I asked him, I said, do you know what your love languages are?
Oh, I talked about that in a recent episode with my friend Catherine.
And I was like,
yeah.
And he goes, yeah. And I was like, what are they? And he's like, acts of service and
oral sex.
Listen, I'm good at like 3 things. That might be one. And he goes, what is it? Acts of service and quality time.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, what are yours? And I said, words of affirmation and physical touch.
Love it.
And he goes, oh. Well, that might not work.
Those damn love languages.
Yeah.
They get us every time.
I just want you to tell me I'm pretty and throw an arm around me.
I'm all about those words of affirmation.
Yeah.
I would say I'm words of affirmation and quality time. I'm not much of a cuddler, although lately I've been craving it.
I am well, even with my friends, I'm a very physical person. I hug.
Touchy-feely.
Even if you are just a friend and we're like hanging out, like, I'll throw my arm around you.
Nice.
Like, and it takes a few people off guard, but the people who have been in my life for a really long time, they're just like, okay, whatever, that's Liam. Like, Liam's just handsy. Like,
filling up the boobies.
not filling up boobies. It's I will say it is with men more than it is with women.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But like, I have a few friends and I'm just like, I throw my like arm around them and it's like,
right,
you're so handsome.
And a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
I've had, actually, going back to the date thing, I've only been on Tinder dates with 3 different guys. Yeah, like I've said, girls in a rough time. And it's funny because one of them I'm still friends with on Facebook and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like when we first met, like when he came to meet me at the bar, he was like, "Are you a hugger?" And I was like, "Sure." But really, I was like, "I'm really not."
And that's something I've dealt with. Like, I have a friend who does not like, he's uncomfortable with touch. And he's like, you know, you're sometimes hard to deal with because like you're huggy and you're touchy. And I'm like, oh, like, just say it. And I'm like, I'll stop. And he's like, well, no, I don't want to be an asshole. And I'm like, well, like, I don't know unless you tell me. Like,
yeah, exactly. I can't read minds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We people need to start being, People need to start being more like us and being more outwardly honest.
I am honest to a fault.
Yeah, it's...
Speaking of honesty, I do kind of need to pee.
You just hold it in this whole time.
I
and
have
not tell
been.
me.
I've been like,
Oh my God, go pee!
Okay, well, one second.
I got more red wine. You know what I just thought of?
What?
Drunk on red wine. Yeah. Old school Gaga. I do too.
No, I miss when songs started with Dark Child. Tony Braxton.
The best era, really. But yeah, honesty and openness.
And you know what? It's a double-edged sword because as we talked about earlier, there was a man I went on a date with. And we went on a few dates and things seemingly were going very well.
Yeah.
And then he's like, we need to talk, which is never a good sign. When someone
what you
needs
wanna
we need to
hear.
talk, they might as well just like hold a crossbow to your face. And he's like, so you seem like a really nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you seem like someone who is a giver. And I need someone who treats me poorly. It's like, what? And he's like, yeah, I like being sort of objectified. I like someone who like treats me poorly and like spits in my face and calls me worthless. And it sounds like something that you're not prepared to do. I was like, hell no.
That's not a bad
And he's like,
thing.
also, I'm into fisting. I was like, oh, nope.
So fisting on him or...
Like, yeah, he
being
wanted to be
fisted?
fisted.
Oh, shit.
And like,
Ugh.
that is like...
Not at all what you're into.
No, but also I will say this because I've had a few questions from people.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a very specific fetish,
Mm-hmm.
I am a little curious what the journey took to get there.
Right. I am too.
Because it's like, you know,
Because
like,
there's no judgment. It's just more of a curiosity of
there's
like...
a little judgment.
depending on what it is.
But like people who are like, oh, well, I like cake farts.
Or being shit on.
Being shit on. I'm
Being
like,
peed on.
how did we get here?
Yeah. What happened there?
What, like, how did you figure out?
Do you have any specific fetishes?
I don't. I will say that I do like a big dick. Are you familiar with the 1996 club hit Short Dick Man?
No.
Don't want no short dick man.
Where did that come from? Let's dive into that.
Have you ever looked at someone and said, I love his dick, it was just average?
Okay, so on that note, my first sexual experience was with like an average dick.
Mm-hmm.
My second one was with a Coke can. So
Like an actual Coke can that was like attached to a paint shaker?
Well, he was like really long and really thick.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a big dick. Like and so that's what I was working with for 3 years on and off.
Lucky
So
lady.
I got used to it, and then when I became single,
Mm.
it ruined me.
I
other dicks.
don't know where it quite came from, but they have done studies where for women, heterosexual women, size does not matter as much as it does for gay men.
Interesting.
And it's probably just because we're a bunch of callous, superficial bitch. But I will say I have. Actually, this is a bad date. Actually, it's a good bad date story.
A good bad date. Okay.
This guy, so nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
Tiny dick.
Oh my God. Like, I'm talking the size of my pinky.
No, like micro penis. We talking?
Not micro, but it's not big. And then he's like, we were making out, and I like put my hand on there, and I was like, ooh, when's it gonna get hard? And he's like, it is.
Oh no.
And then he's like, and then he looked at me like dead in my eyes, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you. And like, I got some junk in the trunk.
Oh no.
So for about 30 minutes, I laid on his bed while he knocked on the door, but never got inside.
Oh my God, that is.
And he was
I
like,
feel bad.
and I was like, I don't know how to bring this up.
Yeah.
So I just didn't call him again.
Do you think that? Okay. Do you think they know? They must know.
They must.
Like it's kind of like BO. Like it's like, do you smell you? Every time I smell someone with BO, I'm like, Do you smell yourself?
No, because BO is like my house smell theory. Have I ever told you this?
The what?
The house smell theory.
No, what's this?
Every house has a different smell.
Oh.
Except for your house, because you can't smell your house.
Right, because you're in it all the time.
Yeah.
So you're not distinguishing.
So you don't know what your house smells like.
So it's the same for like...
I feel like that's the same for BO. Like they could probably be like, that girl's got BO. But it's like, oh, honey.
Okay, so I just Googled what technically a micropenis is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is... Okay, never mind. I Googled the wrong thing because it came up as when it comes to a baby's penis. I'm like,
no!
That's not what I'm looking for.
You're on a watch list now.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm trying to figure out. Okay. A stretched penis length of less than 1.9 centimeters.
What, centimeters?
Yeah. That's what it's saying. That's really small. Like, to me,
beer
that's...
bottle tops that are bigger than that. It's like the screw top of a bottle of wine.
Yeah, this is, what is a micropenis and do I have one?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah. 2.5. Let me see. Average. This translates, a stretched penis length of less than 1.9 centimeters. That's 3/4 of an inch. Oh, at birth. Okay, motherfucker, stop telling me about baby dicks. I want to know about adult penises.
This took a weird turn.
I really did. Among adults? Okay, here we go. Okay. No, this cannot be true. It says a micropenis is defined as a flaccid penis length of 7 centimeters. That can't be right.
No,
micropenis.
That's 7
centimeters, not inches.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, 7 centimeters is pretty small.
So that's 2. That's like 2 3/4 inches.
So that's like less than this pinky.
Okay, that makes sense. I was thinking 7 inches, and I'm like, that's
y'all got micro penises.
That's perfectly fine.
That's not perfectly fine.
What a turn this took.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think for the most part, size doesn't matter, but like it's noticeable. That's what I tell people. I'm like, it's noticeable, but it doesn't necessarily matter.
Well, I have been with men who are just average, and like, if you know how to work it, you know how to work it.
Exactly.
But it's definitely fun to look at a big dick.
Do you think the big dicks don't have to work it as much?
Probably.
Because
yeah.
they have a big dick. Yeah.
I think some people think that.
Yeah.
But I have been with men who just lay there and do it.
Right.
Or do nothing really. And I'm like, cool, so I'm just doing all the work. And it's like, if I wanted to do cardio, I got them cardio bar videos on my YouTube saved.
God damn.
And I'm like, I'm only good at like 3 things.
What are you good at?
It's like a mean dick. I know how to cook.
Oh my God.
And
what's the third?
And I'm a good kisser.
Good kisser.
There
right?
is a story behind
Ooh,
this.
tell me.
So I used to live with a straight man.
Okay.
His name was and
bleep bleep bleep,
because he will probably listen to this.
Thanks for listening.
Love you.
Subscribe, share, rate, and review.
And I lived in Vancouver at this point. I was coming back to visit. And we were in Cheers, which for anyone who's not been at Cheers is like
such a special place.
Oh, it is special in a way that would respond super well to medication. And he goes like, he was also from Ireland.
Ooh,
So
did he have an
we're really
accent?
narrowing this down, so I'm so sorry.
Did he have an accent?
He did. He goes, so I've got a question for you.
Oh.
If you've never made out with a woman, how do you know you're gay?
Oh.
And I go, well, if you've never made out with a boy, how do you know you're straight?
Exactly.
And he goes, all right. Well, then do we want to make out?
Oh my God, I love people from the UK. They're so open. That's fantastic.
The UK's from Ireland, girl.
Oh, wait.
So
Ireland.
in this
not America,
booth
not North
at
America.
Cheers on like a Saturday night, we have like a 30-second rousing game of tonsil hockey.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I got in there. And he goes, all right, I'm not gay, but you're a mad kisser though. So I'm like, thank you.
I've never gotten complaints or compliments, so I don't really know where I stand.
The worst kind of kisser is someone that doesn't do anything. Like, I have been with men and they just put their tongue in my mouth and then leave it there like a dead fish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Do something with that.
Like, did you fall asleep?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck, I miss making out. Can we talk?
I would rather like make out and cuddle. Like, oh, I have softcore sex dreams.
Oh.
Like, you know, like some people are like, ooh, I had this dream where I was like, fuck this dude senseless and came all over his chest. Mine's more like, we like made out in silk sheets on a beach. And then we cuddled a bunch and he told me how pretty I was.
That's so hot.
Yeah.
What's that like?
You wake up very disappointed. Because you wake up and your like roommate's cat's there going like licking her paw, be like, "What's up?"
I genuinely like. I love making out. I have like this like casual sex partner where when we bang, it's like very minimal kissing, and it's making me realize how much I miss kissing.
I have been in that situation. I don't like it because it makes me feel like a professional.
Right? It's like, why don't you pay me?
Well, and also it's like, do you think that kissing is too intimate because you're literally inside of me?
Some people do. This is so fucking bizarre. I've been in situations where guys have been doing sketchy things, and
so you'll put your dick inside of me before you'll put your tongue inside of me.
No, it was like he had his fingers inside me, and I kissed him, and then he pulled me away and goes, "You just broke the rule." I'm like, "Your fingers are inside of me."
What's the rule?
What is happening here? What is this weird validation? It's some people find kissing to be more intimate than literally like insertion. Isn't that bizarre?
That is a little bizarre.
I think oral sex is the most intimate thing.
I agree with that because like that is my cheese tasting mouth.
I'm dying.
I use that to taste hard cheeses and close way to my heart is soft cheese and hard dick. So
that's the
any
soundbite.
suitors listening, I like brie.
Ooh, I love me some.
And I like 8 inches of.
Fuck. But intimacy is a weird thing. A lot of people, it's weird what different people find intimate. Like, to me, like, I've been having so much casual sex that, like, even just cuddling, that is wild. Like, the idea that someone would cuddle with me is a wild idea. Because I haven't had it in so long, and to me, that's more intimate than sex. Oddly enough.
You know what? No, I get that, though, because cuddling, I think sex can sometimes be very transactional.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because, like, I am here for a specific reason, you are here for a specific reason, and cuddling does not fulfill that reason. And cuddling means that, like, we're just hanging out, we're both not getting sort of an immediate reaction from it, but, like...
Right.
And I have some really dear female friends, like, well, we can just cuddle, and it's not the same as, like, cuddling with a man.
No, it's not.
Because, like, you know, there is something about, like... some big arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. That's like kind of like how people are like I'm a very sexual person and I always want to get laid. But then I have friends who are like, well, just masturbate. And I'm like, it's not the fucking same. It's not this, like, yes, it's more efficient, but it's not the same thing.
Do you remember that, like, story arc in Sex and the City where Charlotte had her vibrator?
Yes.
And she would not leave the house?
Yes, this is the second time that episode has come up in this podcast. Yeah, it was, I think she got, like, the rabbit or something. I don't remember what sex toy it was. And listen, like, I'm all about it, but, like, 6 years. Been doing it for 6. Like, the other day, I was talking with a friend about, he mentioned, like, oh, I'm going to probably watch porn later. And I was like, yeah, I already did that. And he's like, well, did you get off? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, how was that? And I was like, they're just really, like, run-of-the-mill. Like, they're very efficient run-of-the-mill orgasms, which is great. But it's not the same as like when you're with someone and you're like doing different things, right?
It's not the
same.
I've got 3 orgasms.
Tell me.
Okay.
What are they?
There is the like, all right, clearly like I've got some business to do. Let's get this done. It takes like a good 7 minutes and like
7? Oh, I can go much quicker than that.
Okay, well, it's not a contest, Sarah.
For me, it's 2 or 3 minutes. But go.
Jesus.
Very
7 minutes. And then there's like the same one, I'm by myself, but I got some time to kill.
Nice.
And so that might take like 30 minutes, 45. And then there's like the actual time I'm with a person.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is a whole process.
Which is like a whole process. It is. I am one of those people that like what really gets me off is getting my partner off.
Yes. Okay.
So if you're enjoying yourself, if you are having a banging good time, that gets me going.
Right. Okay.
I guess that's my fetish.
I have a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had many situations, it's probably different for gay men versus straight men, but I've had many sexual situations where straight guys have told me that. Like, I just want you to get off. It's all about you. But then it starts to feel kind of like, how can I say this? Like, if you don't get off, I won't. And that, as a female, it's a little harder for me to.
Then you can't.
And so
yeah.
and then it becomes this weird, like, you know, it's not going to happen, but like, I still want you to. And I love that you're into getting me off, but like, I also love a guy who can just be like, yeah, I'm going to come. You know, like, I'm just like, well, just do it.
Just do it. You know, I'm not going to. And like, I'd really like to go to bed right now.
So do you feel like when you're in that situation, you're like, okay, I've done my job. Now it's my turn. Or is it really more of it's all about you?
It's probably like a 75-25 split.
Right.
I want them to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
But then also, like, I think a lot of people think that guys are very much so like, oh, you can just have sex and you'll be fine. But it's not. It's maybe not the same sexual blocks that women have, but there are blocks in there.
Right.
So there are times where like, hey, I'm not going to finish. I'm like, cool, but I will.
Good. That's the type of person that I would want. Like I don't want to feel that pressure.
No, yeah. And
if it's not happening for me for any reason, and that could be any reason. But like, I don't want you to waste your orgasm.
I'm too tired.
I had
like,
Thai food.
I'm gassy.
Oh, the gassiness.
But no, I don't think there is an expectation that like, if you don't come, I won't come. But like,
Good, yeah.
I want to make sure that you're having a good time.
You give it your all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's good. That's better than, like, I've also had partners who just really, honest to God, don't care. And that's the worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah. When they're just like, I'm just here for me, it's like,
Then
why am I here?
Yeah, get a flashlight.
Like, flashlights are expensive.
How much are they?
They're like $90.
I mean, that's not too bad.
So I had a friend who was a virgin.
I love how you put the mic away.
Yeah, was a virgin. And a few friends and I pitched in and we bought him a fleshlight.
Oh my gosh.
And he was mortified.
Oh no.
Because he said, well, I can't have sex with this without thinking about you guys. I was like, well, that sounds like a you problem.
You know, I get that. I also got a vibrator given to me as a gift from a friend. And it was a very bizarre vibrator. And it is weird for me to use it. I've only used it like twice.
See, I've had friends buy me sex toys, and I don't think it's that weird. I have had people ask me to make a mold of my penis for them for their birthday.
What?
Yeah.
That's a big compliment.
Well,
that's a huge compliment. Are you kidding me?
If
If someone told me, because you can do it for women too, I think. You can get custom. Oh my God. I want to do that.
Are you going to make a cooter mold?
I would. I mean, if a guy asked me to do that for him, I totally would.
See, well, like, I don't know. It's weird because, like, I'm not plugging anything, but if you want, you can follow me at SimCynic.
Yes.
I've got a lot to work with.
Okay.
And so that is a plus.
Right.
When I'm dating. But also, especially because it is such a big deal in the gay world, it feels sometimes exploitive. Because there are people who have said straight to me, I don't find you attractive, but I know you have a big dick. So,
oh, fuck.
I'm like, cool. Well, did you think that line would work?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's really douchey.
Oh, yeah. Like, and there's douches no matter where you go.
That's wild to me because you're a very attractive guy. I think you're... I don't understand. Like, this is what I don't get. Like there's... you are.
Oh, girl.
So,
says
like,
Demi Lovato over here.
Go fuck yourself, guys. You don't know what you're missing.
But it's interesting because, well, also I have two of my very good friends are very good looking men. I'll bring up a picture while I'm saying this. And the amount of times that people have come to me to like go out of their way and tell me how handsome they think they are. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking cut you, bitch. Like, so this is one of them. Everyone's got a thing for Scott.
He is very attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cute.
Oh yeah. He's not a bad looking man. Like, no one's saying that, but like,
right.
Even guys who I'm like, oh, like, tell me about your day. Like, you seem really cute. And they're like, tell me about Scott. What's going on?
Right.
But it comes back to, and again, I'm not playing the pity party card. I'm gay fat. And it's very much my dating experience is very different from someone like Scott's because I carry a little more weight.
Right.
And it's a very super, not to make generalizations because there's always exceptions to the rules. There's some great people out there. But, you know, that barrier of entry is there. Fuck. But then the opposite side of it is the bear world.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because there's all these terms. There's bears and otters.
Oh, God.
What's an otter?
Oh, God. We could do a whole podcast about this.
Sparks Notes version.
Yeah. So there are bears, which are like big, hairy guys, or big, hairless guys. Just basically big guys.
Yeah.
There are cubs, which are younger guys.
Who are bigger.
Who are bigger and hairier.
Okay.
There are pandas, which are Asian bears.
Oh, my God. I never knew about pandas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there are otters, and otters are your typical tall, skinny dudes, but still have chest hair.
Oh, they're tall, skinny.
Well, they're skinny dudes with chest hair, yeah.
Okay.
Then there are wolves.
Ooh.
They're all based out of animals.
I love it.
Wolves are your older gray-haired dudes.
Like silver foxes, kind of.
Silver foxes, yeah.
But they're wolves. Yeah.
Then there's jocks, twinks, daddies.
Endless.
Endless. And they're all based off of animals for the most part. And I was like, I don't know, like, what are you? And I'm like, a sloth?
So do you, and give your honest opinion on this, do you like that there's these terms or no?
I think there is value to them to some people. Mm-hmm. The problem I have is because it is so prevalent, people look at you and they say, well, you're XYZ. And people have said to me, like, well, you're a bear. And I was like, well, I'm not really a bear. Because first of all, I'm 29, so I'm not that old. But also, I don't identify as that. Like,
yeah.
If you ask me what I am first, I'd be like, oh, well, I'm a total nerd, like we talked about earlier.
Right.
But also, and I'm going to make a lot of enemies when I say this. The bear community, it was sort of founded on this body positivity of like, it doesn't matter your size.
Right. You're hot no matter what.
Yeah. Like if you're a big girl, like own it. Like we'd like that. But there is a certain amount of those people who then also like a skinny people like, he's so ugly. He needs to eat a sandwich. And like, I don't know why he saves his chest. That's disgusting. It's like, okay, so move from body positivity to shaming people who don't fit the mold. And that's the opposite of body positivity.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
So, you know, it takes all types. And if you are a big girl who likes big girls or a small girl who likes big girls or a big girl who likes small girls, own it.
Own it.
But don't ever look at someone and tell them that they are less than. Mm-hmm. Because they're too skinny or they're too big or because you know, like I've been on the too big spectrum of it, but I have an ex-boyfriend of mine who's very a thin guy, and it's just his metabolism,
right?
It can't help. And he has shown me messages of guys now because we're not together, but we're still very good friends. Of people telling him like, you need to eat a sandwich. You look disgusting.
Yeah, it goes the other way sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like he's a good-looking man.
Yeah.
So like.
Fuck. It's ridiculous. We should just avoid commenting on people's. Listen,
Just if they've got a garbage personality, just call them out on that.
and if you're not attracted, you're not attracted. It's not. There's nothing wrong with not being attracted to somebody, but I don't know. Let's not comment on people's body types.
Well, and I mean, I don't have a type per se.
I was going to ask you about that. What you looking for in someone?
Because I have dated men who are. That's a story that I'll tell in a second. But I have dated very muscular men. I have dated tall, svelte men. I have dated bigger guys. It's really like how you carry yourself and if you look good.
Yeah.
And how much you are into me because I love that.
Oh my God, I know, right? Isn't it the best thing ever?
But why are we talking about people who can't love themselves?
Right? No? I know.
I dated a guy who was a military policeman.
Ooh.
And
Man in uniform.
Oh, he was ripped.
Shit.
And do you know what? You know that V that people get?
Oh, I
right
love
here?
that V.
Do you know what gay people call that?
Oh God, what do they call it?
Cum gutters. So he had like a 4-pack and some cum gutters.
Oh my God.
And he was like,
Damn.
And like we were, before we sealed the deal, we were like hanging out and things were going well. We were like driving to Peggy's Cove. And Katy Perry's Teenage Dream came on, which is a fucking jam.
And especially if you're driving down a country road.
Yeah, like that is a jam. I am driving with this dude that like I'm gonna fuck later. This is a jam.
They're gonna go all the way tonight.
No regrets.
Just love.
Oh God, I was gonna do the whole chorus, but
I love her so much.
So. And he like cranks it down and goes, well, we don't listen to gay music.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Well, fast forward 8 hours later.
When it came on.
And I have never met more of a power bottom. Like screaming.
Yeah.
Like staring me straight in the eye. Like it's like the exorcism of Emily Rose being like, harder. And I only got 2 speeds. It's either slow and steady wins the race, or that one rickety like paint shaker at the Benjamin Moore store. And he's like, harder. And I'm like, you said Katy Perry was too gay.
So power bottoms are a thing, eh?
Oh, 100%. And it's always these blue collar men.
Yeah.
That like, yeah, Katy Perry's too gay, but like I will literally
like they put on a front of masculinity.
Oh yeah, probably because they just hate themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Jeez Louise. I've heard a lot about this through gay friends. Like these guys that are either closeted or they put on this front.
A guy I went to high school with messages me and like my high school experience was fine.
Yeah.
Like
Where'd you grow up, by the way? Where are you from?
Well, I grew up in Calgary, well, in Okotos, which is the town south of Calgary. And I moved here when I was 13. And then I went to Sackville.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Millwood was my high school. My, what do they call it?
School?
Alma mater.
Okay.
And some people gave me a hard time for being gay, but like I gave as good as I got.
Really?
Like, I was a mondo bitch in high school.
Wow.
So people would be like, hey, you fucking faggot. And be like, hey, I know you failed your fucking English midterm, and that's the only language you speak.
So you gave it right back.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't take shit.
I didn't take shit. And then this one guy is like, hey, like, and this was only a few years ago. And he's like, hey, like, what's going on? I'm like, we're not friends.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I love it.
He's like, oh, like, I heard you're gay. And I was like, what do you mean you heard I was gay? I was gay in high school. Like, what you want? What do you want? I just want to hear like some whatever sick, twisted fantasy you want. Well, how would you feel if like I bought you some ladies' underwear?
Oh my gosh.
And like maybe you came over to this hotel room. I was like, wow. No. My mother loved me. And it sounds like you got a lot of shit to work through.
Holy smokes.
Because he's like, and I'm like, oh, so you're gay? He's like, I'm not gay.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, okay, because you asking a man to come over and have sex with you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is one of the guys who would like, I'd walk down the hallway and be like, you're a fucking faggot.
Right. Fuck.
And like, and do you know what he does for a living?
Oh, God.
Works on the oil rigs.
Oh, God.
It's this weird, like, blue collar shit.
Yeah. I have another friend who has told me similar stories. So fucked up.
Yeah. And it's like, if you don't like the way you look that much,
you should go and love yourself.
girl, I love myself. You want something done right, gotta do it yourself.
Dear Lord. So what are you looking for in somebody? In a partner? What's your ideal? We're doing build a boyfriend here.
Build a boyfriend. Ooh. I would like him to be taller than me, which is not that
Everyone
hard.
goes immediately to height. It's always one of the first things people say.
Well, I get we're all the same height lying down, but there is something about having a man behind you who like has an arm around you that is like it's a nice security blanket.
Right.
I don't really care for body type. But I will say, like, I do have a soft spot for like tall, skinny, dorky dudes. Like,
interesting.
Adam Brody.
Ooh, love me an Adam Brody.
Oh my God, Seth from the OC.
Oh my God,
that is the man I want.
Yes.
Like, just the right amount of Jewish. Like,
he's kind of nerdy,
dorky, but also like
funny,
very handsome
and funny.
So, something I'm still trying to like cope with as like I have an adult job now,
right?
Is like I've never been the person in the relationship who's had their shit together.
Me neither. Yeah.
Actually,
no.
So I would really like them to just be. I've described this to people and they told me I need to lower the bar.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Emotionally and financially stable.
That's not, no, you should not lower your bar.
Yeah.
That's totally acceptable. And you're not talking rich. You're just talking not, you're able to pay your bills.
Yeah.
And make do.
Like we can do the like, I got this date, you got the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
For anyone who's listening.
And emotionally stable. Very important.
Emotionally stable. And you're like, I'm not saying like, completely saying like, because obviously like, as discussed, I have depression, I have anxiety, but I'm medicated and I go to therapy.
Yeah.
So that amount of self-awareness is totally fine.
Yeah.
Like I can recognize when am I being crazy because of my mental illness or is this something that's actually bothering me?
Because let's face it, we all got the mental illness thing.
It is so prevalent.
But like being self-aware about it is half the fucking battle.
Oh yeah, and I will say I have got an amazing therapist.
I'm so jealous. I want one so bad.
And the one saying is, we can all sit on the pity pot, but if you start to build a home there, the foundation's made of shit.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So yeah, there are times where I have
red wine
burps. Burped into the microphone. Times I've said to men where I'm like, hey, like, I know this comes from my own crazy thing, but like, this is what I need.
Right.
And it scares people.
Yeah.
So all I want is someone who is patient. They have their own life.
Oh my God, it's so important.
I want them to have varied interests.
Yes.
I want them to be able to teach me something about their life while I teach them something about my
yours,
life.
And it's like a give and take.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like you might be super into Taekwondo and you teach me about that and I will teach you about World of Warcraft.
Right.
But I think the person you're with should expand your horizons, not constrict them.
I love that. Mm-hmm.
And you should complement each other.
Yeah.
So if, obviously I'm an extroverted person, maybe he is not. And we
Do you think you do better with someone who compliments you versus like
I don't mind playing second fiddle sometimes, but
extroverts love to have all the attention on them. So like when you're dating,
that's why I'm not gonna have children.
So when you're dating another extrovert, it's like a war sometimes.
I'm fine with it as long as sometimes the spotlight's on me.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I don't really have like a physical type. I will say big ears and salt and pepper hair are my weaknesses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Love a salt and pepper sugar.
And like glasses. Like I like a dorky looking motherfucker.
Yeah, dorks.
Like if you look like you could fix my computer, even though I'll fix it myself.
Do you know who I have the hugest, weirdest crush on? Maybe I'll post this soundbite and tag him.
Who?
He's the CBC reporter. Okay, I'm gonna find his name. I'm following him on Instagram, and I have such a crush. I think he's the cutest guy, and he's so cute and funny in his little videos that he posts. It is Brett Ruskin. Let me pull him up and show you.
Brett Ruskin. Oh yeah, he's cute. Yeah,
He's really cute,
although
right?
he looks very young.
How old are you, Brett?
Because like
I can be your Mrs. Robinson.
I've never been with anyone younger than me.
Oh, really?
But also, I'm the youngest one in my friend group.
Interesting. How old are your friends ranging?
30 to 50?
To 50? Wow. Yeah, I've thought about this long and hard, and what I've come to determine is that with straight guys, age doesn't fucking matter. They're all fucking idiots. Honest to God, like I used to think the older the better. Like I would go as high as 40, 41, 42. Like I would go as high as that if I was attracted, if it was a good situation. They play the same fucking games.
So, because you get to set your age parameters in Tinder. Mine are, because I'm 29, 28 to 45.
Okay.
Because,
that's a decent range.
but I said, look, I want someone who looks like they own land. I ain't getting no younger. And like, I talked to my financial advisor a bit back because I just got my adult job. And he goes, okay, well, what do you want? And I was like, I'd really not like to not have debt.
Right.
And he goes, okay, well, we can make that happen by 32. You just don't get to do anything exciting. I was like, well, I've never done anything exciting in my life before, so that's fine. And he goes, okay, well then, like, what do you want to do afterwards? I was like, well, it'd be nice to, like, own property.
You're all about owning that land.
Well, it's an investment.
Yeah, it is.
And he's like, okay. And I was like, it would be nice to have, like, a condo downtown or something. But, it's hard to say. I could have a man in my life. He goes, well, maybe we shouldn't plan for that. I was like, wow. Thanks, John.
That's very bleak.
Thanks.
But you know what? It's realistic. And I'm that bitch that gets fucking tarot cards read every year that tells me your man's on the way. It's going to be this year.
He's on his way.
You're going to get it. And it never fucking happens. And so that's why I kind of
It's
respect.
apparently arriving via Canada Post.
Yeah, really. It's going to be a month delay. I am of the type to start thinking about things I can change in my life, and one thing I cannot change is guys liking me.
Yeah.
So I can't control that shit.
Right? Because, like, God, that'd be a great superpower.
Right? Love potions?
The one superpower I will say that I would love to have is I would be able to speak any language.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
I'd be so popular.
You could travel anywhere.
Yeah, and, like, you just work for the UN.
Yeah, that'd be unreal.
You could just be like, walk around and be like, I'm a universal translator, bitch.
Oh my gosh. So you are on some apps. So here's my thought. Time are we at? 1:37. Okay, not too bad. I want to get a brief overview of the apps that you're on.
Okay, so Tinder, which no one needs refreshing.
We all
on.
know Tinder.
Yeah. There's Grindr.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know what Grindr is, it's a proximity-based gay radar.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is.
The
Should go on it
closest
right now
person
and
to me is
in this building.
probably in this building. There's not a range modifier, but the next person is 53 meters away.
Holy shit.
He is 26. He is into board games, Dungeons and Dragons, cooking, fashion, not into drugs, older, bigger, facial. Okay, well, fuck you, you callous bitch.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm not into guys who are older than me, bigger than me, facial hair. Says the one who looks like he's fucking Betty Page.
Holy shit.
I'm not gonna shame you.
So there's Tinder, Grindr, and then you mentioned another one.
Scruff.
Okay, what the fuck is this? I've never heard of this.
So Scruff is a dating app for gay men, and it's focused a little bit more on people who sort of fall outside the norm. So it's a bit more of a bearish, but not so much bearish, but like, you know, you think of gay men, you think of that like shaved, ripped body, which not everybody has. So there's a few people here. I'm going to pass you my phone while I do this.
See.
Yeah. But the one thing with Scruff is instead of like liking someone,
okay,
you woof at them.
Oh my God, what?
So, but like in my experience, woof has always been if you look at a woman and go woof,
yeah, that's bad.
that is not a good thing.
That's woof calling.
Yeah, that is calling somebody a dog.
So this is, you're seeing kind of a grid. I'm looking at a grid of men.
Yeah.
What does this mean? Search Geeks Plus.
Oh, so you get to sort of filter who you want, and I obviously want some geeky man. I'm gonna scooch close to you.
Yes, it's a tutorial in
yeah.
Scruff.
So nearby, so the closest person who is nearby is this guy. He's got a Disney villain mustache.
Oh my God, it's so Disney.
He is
villain.
86 meters away.
Holy shit.
He is just looking to meet new people.
AKA fuck.
Yeah. The next person is this man named Sprytown Cum Swallower.
Oh,
I
literally.
wonder what he wants.
I thought it was a joke, but he's right. Sprytown. Okay.
Well, he delivers what he promises, I'm sure.
Oh my God.
He also looks
Is
like
there any way to see more? Okay. He's a chub otter.
He also looks like he's got a lady in his basement.
Holy shit. Yeah, he looks like he could take you in an alleyway. He's very rapey.
I'm so sorry if you're a very nice person, Sprytown Cum Swallower.
With a name like that.
Well, he's...
You gotta be
That's a good Christian lady.
This is wild. This app is insane.
Yeah. So, it's really hard to come up with your own description. So this is my profile.
Oh, let me see. Okay. So, into bears, muscle geeks, guys next door, otters. You are a geek? You are. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good geek.
I play video games quite a bit.
Random play. Yeah, okay. See here. There's no place for you to just like write something. Okay, what big nerd with a big heart. Love to cook, play video games, try new things, and have long discussions about which Hogwarts house is superior. I love that.
Yeah, I feel
That's
like that was like a good...
That is so cute. Looking for new experiences with new people that can vary from the casual hang to more serious courtship. I love that you put that in there.
Yeah.
You're very specific. You're like, You're like, I could fuck and I could date.
Yeah.
I love that. Well endowed.
Well, you gotta advertise a bit.
Nice. Long walks to the refrigerator. That's amazing. I love this. What are insights?
Oh, that's on some people. You can look and see what their insights are, so you can see their response rate.
Oh, cool. Oh my God. Really?
Yeah, like it's some like analytics bullshit.
I often feel like there should be a super dating app that combines all these features. Like, because that's a really cool feature.
Yeah, I would
You
say.
can almost predict ghostability in a weird way.
Which is like...
Is it only one picture?
Yeah, because then... But also, I've linked my Instagram to it.
Oh, okay. So they can creep you if they want.
Well, really, if they creep my Instagram, they're just going to see everything I cook and my cat.
This is interesting. Have you had much luck on there?
No, that's why I'm still single.
Oh, so... okay, so Tinder, Grindr, Scruff.
Yeah.
Any other ones?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Which one out of the three do you like best, personally?
Probably Grindr.
Yeah.
But that's only because it's the most mainstream. It's got the most exposure for guys.
Right.
Tinder, sometimes I could come view it after 2 weeks and I've got like 3 guys to scroll through.
Yeah.
And Scruff appeals to a very specific audience.
That's so interesting. I've literally never heard of it.
There's like 8 other apps that are based around Scruff. Like, I just realized one of them was called Growler, which like...
Growler?
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing until like I made like an Instagram post about it.
Interesting.
Because I said like, ooh, Growler sounds like it could be a dating app. And everyone's like, it is a dating app. How do you not know this?
So what's your general opinion on the online dating? So like we've
it is like swallowing a bunch of barbed wire and having to pass it without any medical assistance.
So accurate. So
it is
accurate.
long and it is painful and there's zero payoff.
I just don't. It just doesn't thrill me in any way, shape, or form.
I enjoy meeting new people, and I like the process of meeting new people and figuring out what makes them tick.
Love that.
But that being said, when it doesn't turn out to be anything, I'm disappointed. And if I really like someone and they turn out to not like me, I will be the first person. I will spiral.
Yeah.
I'll spiral for a good week, but that also spiraling means that I usually clean my house top to bottom. So
it's always good.
Someone should reject me about once every 2 months.
So are you someone who, like, I know with me, I often channel these frustrations into like self-deprecation and also like saying to myself, like, I'm not dateable. Like I have that, I put that stigma on myself. Do you do that, or are you just more
100% I do.
It sucks, right? Fuck.
It, instead of turning into, okay, well, they just didn't like what I have to offer, it was, they don't like what I had to offer because what I had to offer is wrong.
Right. Fuck.
And it's interesting because we both are very upfront with our mental health struggles, and one of the things you do learn in therapy is, would you say that to your best friend?
Like when you're feeling depressed and stuff? Yeah.
And it's interesting because you look at the things that happen to you and the men that reject you. Well, not, I think reject is a hard word. The men that decide that you're not compatible.
Right.
And you internalize that.
Big time.
And you run through this this quantum computer of like 1,001 different situations that it could have been.
Yeah.
And it's not a healthy thing to do, but it's what I do. So I've got to learn how to deal with it.
Fuck. Well, you're in therapy, so you're already further than a lot of us.
Oh, I'd love going to therapy. It's like a 1-hour talk show
How
about
often?
me.
How often do you go?
Once every 3 weeks.
That's pretty good.
I used to go a bit more, but then my plan changed. And I'm not exactly flush for cash. So if anyone wants to sponsor my therapy sessions,
could be a Patreon level on Patreon.
Send Liam to therapy. Girl needs some help.
I honestly, I've been experiencing this. I've been noticing it more lately with single friends. Just this, like you said, overthinking who we are and almost blaming who we are in a weird way.
Oh, yeah.
And like all of these fucking people are amazing, you know, like, and I'm sure you get this too. Like your friends can tell you, you're so awesome.
Well,
you're so amazing. Like any guy would be like they say all these things and it's like, well, why is that happening?
I hate when people say that.
Yeah, I kind of do
because
too.
people like, well, and I've had guys say, they're like, oh, well, you know what? Like, you're so nice. You're super funny. You've got a great personality. I'm like, okay, yeah, guys love that from behind.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I recognize that, like, as a person, I'm pretty dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably my biggest struggle is the physical aspect of it. And it's
that fucking,
I don't know how to like to word this, but it's like everyone is telling me I should do stand up, but no one's telling me that they want to take pictures of me.
Right. So it's like this weird barrier that you're feeling.
A bit, and it's like, oh wow, we're getting real.
Yeah, this is real. This is real deep.
It's
the red wine.
It's the red wine. We're like,
it's red wine.
Half a box in.
Red wine therapy.
Yeah, I have had several friends say, like, you are so funny. You are the funniest person I know. And you are the sweetest person I know. And then they're also the same people who are like, so, like, your friend Dan, what's going on with that?
Right.
Like, is he single? I'm like,
So they don't put things on you. Like the compliments that you get are based
They're-
on personality.
based on my personality.
And so when you're navigating a world where you need to have both personality and attraction and physical attraction to have a relationship, it presents a challenge.
I'm operating at 50%.
Okay, like we're not that close, but I truly think that attraction is so personal. And I don't think you can look at someone and say they're unattracted. You might look at someone and say, I'm not attracted to them.
Which is fair.
But I think everybody is attractive to somebody.
100%. Well, I mean, also, like, you know, we obviously have a lot of the same struggles dating. You're beautiful. You look like Demi Lovato.
Thank you.
Plus, you got some giant knocker.
But see, that also presents it's a weird other side with me, because I'm not being told it's my physical appearance. I'm not being told it's my personality, because I'm always told that how awesome I am. So what is it? So it presents this other weird thing where I'm constantly analyzing both of those things. God. So I'm not fully confident.
Men of the world, when you are listening right now, just tell us what's wrong with us.
Like so I'm not 100% body confident, and I'm not 100% personality confident. So it's this weird like feeling not good enough in any way.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
In confidence in front of the whole world.
My 70 listeners.
You're all 70 of y'all.
Hey, I wouldn't want to buy them lunch. Like whenever people talk about like listenership, I'm like, yeah, it's not that large, but I wouldn't want to buy them all lunch.
Well, you're a top ranking podcast. One of the things I've always wanted to try is stand up.
You should.
First of all, I think it is very conceited of me to think that I am a stand-up comedian, because I think I am situationally funny, and it's one of the things I'm terrified of.
Well, you should start. I go to a lot of comedy shows, so you should come with some night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm down.
Because I have a friend who runs a show. And there are amateur nights, so you should.
So the
should start coming
barrier of entry is pretty low.
You could easily get in. I mean, if you're someone who wants to try it, there's plenty of ways to do that in Halifax. But at the same time, it's a lot of work.
I'm fine with that.
Hell yeah! See, there you go.
Yeah. So, being single as long as I've been single, I've realized a few things, and one of them is, and you're going to probably agree with me, the people who give you the worst dating advice are your married friends. Because they say things like, you know what?
Don't expect it.
You just haven't found the right guy. I'm like, yes, I am plainly aware I have not found the right guy.
Things will come around when you least expect it.
Oh, yeah, you just need to stop looking. And I was like,
stop trying. Just stop trying. All around.
Would you say that to like someone looking for a kidney? Don't worry. I know you're looking for a kidney, but if you stop looking, that's when you'll find it. Like, fuck you.
God love them. You
James.
know what? There's multiple levels of married friends. I feel like there are some married friends who they've dated, they've been through it a bit. They're a little more realistic. There are other people who have, okay, I hate saying this, but hey, if you're still listening at this point, you deserve to hear this. This is what I always say at the end of the episodes. I'm like, the things get deeper at the end. But I don't always believe, okay, this is my stance on this. I don't trust or believe people who have not struggled.
Oh, 100%. And
that's why I love Kristen, because she's been through a lot of struggles. Mm-hmm. And so when she gives me life advice, I'm like, I'm getting life advice from fucking Oprah.
You get someone who has been there. And I have a friend who has been in a long-term relationship. She's married now. And she has said, Carrie and Ken, you're going to listen to this anyway. So she goes, I am not monogamous to Ken because Ken is the love of my life and I'm going to be with anyone else. Because I'm going to look at some people in my life and I'll be like, I wonder what he looks like without clothes.
Yeah.
I am monogamous to Ken because that is the person I have chosen.
Right.
And there are people in their lives who think that you're just gonna find the one. And when you find the one, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna still, like, I had a boyfriend, a very long-term serious boyfriend. We talked about our work crushes. We talked about, like, you're still gonna look at other people.
Do you get crushes a lot?
Oh, God, yes.
Do you have any current crushes?
I don't.
I have literally 3 or 4.
Do tell.
I mean, like I like them all for different reasons.
Well,
But-
let me hear about them.
I can't. No, I'm getting shy.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting shy on my own podcast. But I mean, my main issue is that I'm attracted to unavailable people. And
Oh my God! Tell
and
me
it's-
more about this. This is such a foreign concept.
It's a huge problem for me because it's like even this Tinder guy that I'm talking to who's like trying to flirt and who's being really nice to me. I'm like finding reasons to be like, ooh, this is too much. This is too much. But yet, an unavailable guy comes around and makes me laugh every now and then. I'm like, ooh.
Oh my God!
Hard eyes, hard eyes,
Oh
hard
my-
eyes.
Do you think
Yeah.
we pick unavailable men because we think we're not worthy?
In recent weeks, I've dived into this, and I kind of do think that in a weird way. Or maybe we think, maybe it's not a not worthy thing, but maybe it's a not ready thing. Like maybe we're not ready to actually be faced with like a conventional,
Yeah.
like normal relationship.
Well,
And also, I don't know, for me, I'll speak to myself on this. Like I love the chase and I love tension.
oh,
So-
I don't.
So like I actually love having tension build up and have it not being fulfilled. Isn't that bizarre and fucked up and weird? Because then once it's fulfilled, they
Girl,
get
you've
bored.
ever had an orgasm?
But they get bored and then they move on to somebody else. So then it's gone. And then I get scared of it being gone, right? So it's really fun. Yeah, who needs a therapist? Sarah. Sarah needs a therapist.
See, no, I definitely recognize that I pick emotionally unavailable men.
Yeah, I do too.
I've tried to be better at that recently.
Do you find it more, like, do you find you're more attracted to people who aren't available?
I find them more beguiling.
Yeah. Ooh, what does that word mean?
Like,
Beguiling. I've never.
they are more attractive, even though I sort of know that they're bad for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Like a siren.
Ooh, they're calling.
Sirens are
They're
beguiling.
calling you to land.
Yeah, basically.
That's so interesting.
Well, so, and it's kind of funny because like we've both sort of established this reputation as being everyone's sort of single friend.
Yeah.
And some friends of mine, they did this big gay wine tour this year.
Big. I hope it was called that.
It-
Big gay wine.
Yeah,
tour.
and it was like, it was so much fun. I had so much fun, but like, I was one of the like 2 single people there, and they introduced me. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is our friend Liam. He's single. He's our messy friend." And they're like, but then the people who didn't get that introduction, they're like, "And who are you married to?" And I was like, "Well, I am single, but I am very good at hand-to-gland combat."
Oh my god. How do you deal with that? Being the same, like being the. I know.
I drink very heavily.
I know it is not the fault of my friends, and I would never put that on them. But holy fuck, it's uncomfortable sometimes.
The expectation, I think, is that eventually everyone finds someone. And obviously I've not found my person yet.
You're only 29. You're still young.
I have found several of them. They're just all cats.
Cats are the best.
My friends have this cat named Albert, and he's so handsome.
Albert.
And he gets very handsy when he's with me.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it's like I said, it's very interesting because married people give the worst advice, but they're also the first person to like throw shade if you're still single after like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, so why haven't you found anyone? I was like, oh no, I haven't like cracked the Da Vinci Code of dick yet.
Do people honestly ask you that?
Yeah.
I've never straight up been asked that. I've been given passive aggressive comments.
I've had people straight up ask me, why are you still single? And I usually respond with, because you haven't broken up with your man yet.
Oh, shit.
Usually shuts them
great,
up.
That's a great answer. There's a great podcast called Why Won't You Date Me with Nicole Byer, who's this hilarious comedian.
Listen to Why Won't You Date Me.
It's fucking great. She is. I love how she starts every episode with, this podcast is to figure out why I'm still single, even though and then she'll put in something really vulgar, like, I'll let someone tie me up in her bedroom and leave me there overnight. Like she'll like say something ridiculous.
This podcast is figure out why Liam is still single, even though one time I let a dude almost bite one of my nipples off.
Holy shit. I feel like I've only scratched the surface with you. We're at 2 hours, so I do have to.
We should probably.
I have to close it, but we might be. I mean, if you're depending on what you want to do, we could do a Patreon episode if you want to keep
I
talking.
would love that.
But it would be for only paying customers. But
well,
I want to keep talking.
Charge by the hour.
This was great, and I know
normally by charging by the inch. So
by the inch, you'll be back on. We've only, like I said, scratched the surface of sadness between us both. So
misery loves company.
That should be the fucking title.
That's what we should title this episode.
Misery loves company. Oh my God. Sometimes I have trouble with titles. Sometimes they come to me right away. And then other times I have to really, really think about it. Usually it's a quote or something. Thank you so much for coming over.
This was a long time coming. We talked about this probably for about 3 months now.
Like back in the summer,
yeah.
I think.
And then I just napped for a while.
'Tis the season. Fucking seasonal depression. I've been having like 7 p.m. naps almost every day.
Sometimes you go to bed for like half an hour, but then you sleep for 3 hours. I call that a napsident.
I love that, a napsident. Oh my gosh, this has been lovely though. Let's bring it in for one last cheers.
L'chaim.
And you're the guest of honor, so you get to do a bell ring.
Ooh.
Ring that bell. Woo-hoo.
You can ring my bell.
We're so sad.
Please date us.
Hey, Lily.
Oh, hey, Krista.
Did you know, according to an unproven internet meme, you will cross paths with a murderer 36 times in your lifetime?
I did know that, and you want to know why?
I can guess.
Because we're 36 Times, a Canadian true crime and comedy podcast, which covers crimes in the Great White North.
Every episode, we focus on a major crime, and then we lighten things up with a kooky one.
We cover everything from major cases and unsolved mysteries to peculiar getaway choices and animals behaving oddly.
So catch our bi-weekly episodes on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts.